She's wasting her time, my parents said about my art. Jestedy, they saw my paintings in a museum they couldn't afford to enter without me. I used to sketch under my covers with a flashlight after they confiscated my art supplies for the third time that month. I'll pick on something practical, my father would say, waving my college applications toward business schools I had no interest in. My mother was more direct. Artists starve. No daughter of mine will live in poverty because of childish dreams, despite maintaining a 4.0 NEMPLI. My parents saw my art as a threat to the future they'd planned: pair to medical school, a respectable husband, a life that would reflect well when they bragged to their friends. During senior year, I secretly applied to art schools with the help of my high school art teacher. Miss Rivera believed in me when no one at home did. She helped me photograph my portfolio, paid my application fees from her own pocket, and let me use her address for correspondence. When the acceptance letter came with a partial scholarship, I made my choice. The night I announced I wouldn't be attending the business school my parents had selected, my father threw my sketchbooks into the rain. When you were homeless, don't come back here. I left with 2 suitcases and the soggy remains of 12 years of artwork. The first 3 years were exactly as hard as they predicted. I worked 2 jobs while attending classes. My tiny apartment doubled as my studio, the bathtub my storage space. I ate ramen for so many consecutive meals that the convenience store clerk started throwing in free eggs to keep you from getting scurvy during those years. My parents told relatives I was going through a phase and would come to my senses. They refused to tell anyone where I actually was or what I was doing. At family gatherings, my younger sister later told me they'd change the subject whenever someone asked about me. Then came the fellowship, followed by my first small gallery show. A well-known collector purchased 3 pieces by year 5. I had my first solo exhibition by year 7. I was teaching part-time at my alma mater while maintaining my studio practice. Yesterday marked a decade since I left home with those 2 suitcases. My newest series opened at the Modern Art Museum downtown Perrin, the first time an artist under 35 has been given the main exhibition hall in the museum's history. I hadn't spoken to my parents in 8 years when my sister called Mom and Dad saw your name on a billboard. They wanted to come to the opening. I sent them tickets, paired not to the exclusive Pragu where collectors spend thousands, but to the general admission opening if they were coming to reconcile. I didn't want it to be about money. When they arrived, I barely recognized them. My father seemed smaller somehow, my mother more hesitant. They stood before my largest piece under a mixed media work that incorporated fragments of those rain-soaked sketchbooks from a decade ago. We couldn't afford tickets without you, my father said quietly. The admission price. It's what I used to say you'd earn in a week as an artist. My mother touched my sleeve, her fingers trembling. Here's a woman in there who paid more for one small painting than we paid for our house. I didn't say I told you so, I didn't need to. Instead, I gave them the full tour, explaining my techniques, introducing them to my colleagues and students who knew nothing of our history. As they were leaving, my father whispered, "I'm sorry we didn't see it sooner," and pressed something into my hand, aerated dried, flattened flower from one of my childhood sketchbooks. He had saved it after all. I still don't know if I am ready to fully forgive them, but seeing them stand small and humbled in a space celebrating everything they once dismissed felt like the closing of a circle. The exhibition is called Worthy. Every review has mentioned how fitting the title is. Mine of them know it's not about the art at all.